Cable
All
10,
right.
Aurora, Illinois Community Access Channel.
Let's get weird, buddy. Let's get weird.
Guys, where are we?
Well, if there's a bright center to the universe, you're on the planet that it's farthest from.
Welcome to the Outer Rim. Enjoy your stay.
Fuck you, Mr. Milchick.
Okay. So, for anybody who watches this later, I forgot to take the intro to Severance out of this live stream because I'm here in Chicago once again, exhausted after 2 days. I don't even know how I'm talking right now. So, sorry for the intro. The outro will still be there. Hey, hi. So, this is for my friends on the Discord. This is for everybody. But mostly I'm doing this for my friends on the Discord, and you're going to have to excuse me. I'm eating my McDonald's before the fries get completely cold, because French fries from McDonald's really only taste good when they're warm. So, currently, I'm on the 12th floor of the Felix Hotel, just a hop, skip, and a jump. Not even that. A skip from the new Harry Potter store, which I was going to go to on day one, which was yesterday, before the Critical Role live show. So we're going to do this in order of things that happened, and, with my usual way that I talk about anything. But so far, I've had pretty much a great, what am I talking about? I've had one of the best times of my life in the past 24 hours, 32 hours. I, as usual, was sitting at home waiting to go to C2E2. I realized that I wanted to get here earlier than I was going to yesterday. So I lackadaisically left my house, realizing I'm going to white knuckle it to the train station, which was about an hour away, close to it, depending on traffic, and it was not great. I showed up to the train with 4 minutes to spare. Otherwise, I would have been sitting there for another hour and a half. Train, no problem. Got there. I love taking the train. Got to the hotel. This time I actually walked all the way down Michigan Avenue after checking into my hotel, which this time, because of taxi cabs dropping me on the dark side of the moon, which I don't think is actually a thing, I wanted to know for sure how to get around better in Chicago, because I already kind of know, but this time I was like, anytime I come back here, I don't want to be lost. So I walked all the way from the train station to Michigan Avenue to my hotel, which was actually really close. Got checked in and then arrived precisely when I mean to. That's right. So I had said that I was going to try to go to Harry Potter store. So I walked all the way from South Michigan Avenue to North Michigan Avenue. Took a nice long walk to Harry Potter store, and it was the first day they were open, so what the hell did I think was going to happen? The line was ridiculous. You had to have a QR code just to be on a waiting list to get in. So I said, well, at least I know where it is. And my first day of C2E2 was going to be kind of easy. So I thought, well, I'll just go tomorrow. So I walked back to the hotel, and I get ready for the Critical Role live show. Which, if this is a spoiler, I don't know. But this is the Critical Role live shirt, the Chicago live shirt. They have 10th anniversary shirts that I also got one. I got a tote for buying like $60 worth. That's it for the merch. Now, as far as the Critical Role live show, First, I want to talk about the people that were there. Great. What critters? Look, I'm sure that not every critter is of the same ilk, but Critical Role fans, I don't know. I feel like we're different from other fandoms. And I think that that carries over a lot into how we are with each other as people. And it was a lot of like, it was really nice. Bad news, though. My phone's data plan ran out at 1 p.m. and I realized I hadn't put my ticket into my Google Wallet and I had no access to Ticketmaster. So I got the shirts and I'm not gonna lie, I was very emotional trying to figure out how to get my ticket. And I finally figured out it gave me I got like enough of a signal from Wi-Fi. I know, but this was my fault. My choices, me using my data earlier because I was trying to use GPS and stuff and all this other things. So that's why it ran out. It's on me, not the service. I knew this and I failed to act on it. But I did manage to get a weak enough Wi-Fi signal so that I could put the ticket in my wallet, kept it on there because I had actually had it on there earlier and for some damn reason I closed the tab and it wouldn't come back up. So I'm sitting there in line, I'm talking to people. It was great. I talked about how we're doing a Mighty Nine campaign, which we're doing the Mighty Nine campaign for Baldur's Gate 3 on the channel if you haven't noticed. It's a lot of fun. Telling people about that. And that's the thing is I've got a lot of anxiety, but like in this community, when you're with the Critical Role people, everybody's so welcoming and we want to talk about things. And it was just a joy to talk to some people that I met there. And let me just tell you something about this Critical Role live show because I'm not going to spoil anything. I put on my Discord who the players played as, and that's it. I didn't tell them anything else. I'm not really going to tell anybody else out there anything other than to tell you that when you guys get to watch this live show on Twitch or YouTube, you guys are going to see, in my opinion, one of the. I was skeptical going into this last show because I kind of thought it was going to be a battle royale. And I don't know. Personally, me, I just was like, I really, the campaign's over. Campaign 3 is over. So what are you going to get? Maybe a one shot, a cool one shot. But it felt like it was going to be a battle royale. It was like, you're going to vote for who they play. And I thought, okay. But no. See, that's where I was an idiot. Because Matt Mercer's a motherfucking genius. Matt put together a game, an episode that is unlike anything they have ever done. I don't know if they'll ever do anything like it again. I hope so. But it felt like, for me personally, it was one of the best nights of my life. And I know that that's maybe sad for some people, but I didn't know how much this last night was going to mean to me. And when they pulled off what they pulled off last night, all I can say is, again, I can't wait for all of you to see what they did. Because it is a very special show that they put on. 10 years. They've been doing it for 10 years, and I should have known better. Because by the end of it, the show started around 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. 10:30, 11:30. We didn't get out of there till I think around 11:45 or something like that. It was a really long enough experience. I was exhausted. My throat was raw. And maybe that's too much of a spoiler. But again, when you guys see it, and I'm I hope this doesn't sound like a spoiler. They said if it sounds like a spoiler, you shouldn't say it. But I'm pretty sure I'll be able to pick out my own voice in that crowd. Maybe, depending on their mixers and how they do it. But I'm going to be listening for myself. And if I hear myself, I am going to be pointing it out. I'm going to be pointing it out. And I talked to some people today about the live show, and everybody was just, if we saw it, we were talking a little bit about it with each other, but not like, hey, everybody, look what they did. Because they really did something amazing last night. I feel so. It was a one of a kind. I mean, it's of course it's a one of a kind experience, but this felt like extra special, and they did not let us down. And of course they didn't. And they made the 10-year anniversary mean something for us here in Chicago, and us out here in Illinois. We made sure that those thousands and thousands and thousands of people made sure that the cast of Critical Role knew exactly how we felt about them and how much we hope they continue to bless us. And I hate using that word bless, but it's a blessing that they came here again. And I hope they continue to, because it was amazing. It was amazing. And I don't know when it's coming, but I'm gonna download that episode to my hard drive when it comes out because I want to have it forever. And if I could, I would buy special DVD and everything because it was like one of the most special things that I'm so glad that I got to do. So I got home and I did not sleep very well. I got back after midnight, like around 12:30, and I don't know when I went to sleep. I don't know how much sleep I got. I know somewhere around 5, I just kind of gave up. And I started getting myself ready for C2E2. Had to like make sure that my costume was working, which uh, eventually you'll see. I'll show you guys a picture of it on here when we talk about something else. But I dressed up as Hunter S. Thompson. Here, I'll kind of show you a little bit. I had to wear these shorts. They look kind of big here. Let me tell you something. They're short shorts. So I'm walking down Michigan Avenue. I should preface this. I brought too much shit with me, and I'm by myself. I have one bag, my Captain America backpack that I love, and it fits a hell of a lot. It is the best backpack I have ever had. But I still had too much shit, and I realized, oh my god! Not only do I have all of my stuff and all my costumes that have to either be worn or shoved in the bag, but now I have a bunch of shit from Critical Role. Which, wait, there is one thing I forgot. No. Well, no. Okay. I got this. I almost didn't know that they had this. I posted a picture of this to the Discord. This is a 10-year anniversary special oversized D20. Look. It says Critical Role. Ooh. It is beautiful. I have an oversized D20. So, so there's that. Okay. So I realized I can't carry all this stuff and be walking around as Hunter S. Thompson. I just can't. So I found a storage place, like a bodega, that will store your bags in like a locker, and then you come back and get it later. So that's what I did. And again, I don't mind walking. I really don't mind walking in Chicago. I love it. I love Chicago. I love this city so much. I really I really just need I wish I lived here. So I walked down there and then I ended up just walking to the show. And on the way to the show, because this is why I love Chicago. This is why I love being in a city. And you'll go, "What? Why would you like that?" It's because anything can happen. Where I live, nothing happens, and I'm surrounded by ignorant fascists. Some of them. And I'm walking down the street in full Hunter S. Thompson outfit. The hat, the glasses. I didn't have the cigarette holder in because I just thought that was a little too much for walking down just down the street. Although on my way home, I did. I had it in my mouth the whole damn time. I don't know why. I think it was just riding that high. But on the way there, I just happened to roll up on a bunch of cops with big ass piece like warrants in their hand. And they had the battering ram and everything. And they were about to bust down somebody's door as I come walking up past all of these cops down the street. I don't, look, I showed them the proper respect. I didn't know what they were doing. They knew that I didn't know what they were doing, even though I looked at whatever they were doing and I went, I know what you guys are about to do. And they saw me in full costume and started laughing, but not at me, but kind of at the situation. So as I'm walking away, I'm like, oh my God. If I had stayed there, I'd have watched them bust in somebody's door with a battering ram. I I know that sounds crazy. Like maybe that sounds too much for people. Like, why would what the city, man? So I get there, I walk in, and one of the very first things I see is a guy dressed up as Dr. Venture from the Venture Brothers with a giant like helper robot. It was it was like such a cool thing to walk right into, and this guy was standing there all day. When he left, I was there, like he was still there, and that was the very first time that people were like, "You're Hunter S. Thompson. You're Dr. Thompson." And I'm walking past Dr. Venture, and they're like, "We want your picture with Dr. Venture and Dr. Thompson." So I'm getting my picture taken by people like immediately. And so we're standing there, and the guy who's dressed as Dr. Venture is like, "Wow, this is really cool." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, this is like, yeah." And eventually, like usually the wait is longer, but I popped into my earbuds, put some Radiohead on, listened to some David Bowie, and then singing about how he's afraid of Americans, because. And eventually we just got in, and it was my free day. The only thing I had to do was one photo op at 3:30-ish. So today was the day for comic books. So I just casually, because it's Friday, the best day to go to C2E2. Like, hopefully this never changes. For go on Fridays if you can. Don't tell anybody else because it's the only day that you're not going to be just choked with people. So I casually walked right up and there's Chris Claremont pretty much ready to go. So I saw how much things cost though and had to make some decisions. I brought a bunch of Chris Claremont stuff with me and I had to before I even yeah, I know I brought a bunch more. I have a few books that I brought with that didn't get signed, but hey, I don't have all the money in the world, right? But the ones that I got, I really am happy with. And the only thing that was kind of whatever about that situation was that he had been able to talk. He was talking to everybody that came up to him and was talking about the books and characters and things that are coming up. And there's some things coming up that I don't even know if I should bring up. But he also talked about the Wolverine and Kitty Pryde book that he's got coming out. And the way he talked about it was really, I'm really excited for this book. Because again, it's filling in the gaps when, but around the era of Kitty Pryde and Wolverine from the 80s, where she trained to be a ninja. Well, he was talking about all this stuff, and when he got up to me, he suddenly is being interviewed by a guy sitting next to him. And they're talking, and this was cool because I got to see art and pages from this book that hasn't even been released yet. Like pages. And so I was like, okay, I didn't really get to have a conversation with Chris Claremont, but I got to have some spoilers. I got to see some unfinished art. I got to see some cool shit. And I got to hear how he was talking about Kitty Pryde and her relationship with Wolverine and how, like, him talking about his own story. He has always been, he's a different kind of guy. He's definitely got his own opinions on the X-Men. He really wishes he was the X-Men guy still, it feels like. It really does. From what I heard at that table today, it sounded like, man, he really wants to have X-Men again. So I didn't get to talk to him. Big whoop. I got some like interviewer dirt, which was just as cool. But these were the books that I ended up landing on for him to sign. The first one is a very important one for me personally and to my brother from another mother, Gino, who, ever since I got the poster for this particular issue, and he and I mentioned to him that this poster is like you and me. I'm tiny and you're big, and so it just looked like I'm the Wolverine in this and you're the Hulk. And eventually he ended up making a poster of us as them on this cover. So when it came down to getting a book signed, for sure, Wolverine #8, the Hulk, Joe Fixit, and Logan next to each other. This is a very special issue, so I had to make sure that this one got signed. And he just signed them, right at the top. But I also got one of the oldest books of his. This is only the third issue that Claremont wrote. I have the second, but I chose the first appearance of Moira McTaggart, issue number 96, as one I'd have him sign. Because Moira, if you guys didn't know, anybody who doesn't know this, is Moira McTaggart was just kind of a character that was always involved with Charles, and she was a scientist, and her son ended up becoming Proteus. But she was just a person. And in the Krakoan age, turns out Moira does have powers. So this book suddenly becomes way more important when you stack up what this character has become now. And just special to me. So I got this one signed. Then I had to get the first appearance of Kitty Pryde and Uncanny X-Men 129. Trying to keep the glare off. It's hard because I'm doing this homemade. The first appearance of Emma freaking Frost, the White Queen. This classic X-Men cover, which has been in, like a long time ago, was in a lot of my videos in the background. Dark Phoenix trouncing the X-Men. The first appearance of Mr. Sinister. The X-Men Boogeyman character. And this is Uncanny 221. And then, of course, the one that I've been waiting to get signed forever, Uncanny X-Men number 266, the first appearance of Gambit. Yes, I never stop with my love of Gambit, and now I finally have Claremont's signature on this. I am so fucking happy. Now, Art Adams has like kind of co-ownership over the first appearance of Gambit because he also showed up at the exact same time in a in an annual, but Uncanny X-Men 266 is the one that's just worth more. And that's not a knock on Art Adams or anything. Um Sorry if I haven't like looked at the comments here. Let me go back to the comment section here in a second. Long enough. You did say we might hear you. Got him 80 shorts. The Cube. Some people are so creative. Yeah, Matt Mercer's a goddamn genius. When you watch that episode and you realize what he's doing and what they're all doing, I'm not going to talk about it here. When it comes out, I think I'm going to talk about the show. Then I'll talk about it because there's a lot that was going on in that show. Um, the inside scoop, yes, he has a thing for the crazy chicks. Respect. Yes, he's showing the. Hang on. I don't know why, but like there's a share your referral link blocking the last comment. So after Chris Claremont, I didn't know who to hit next because Art Adams wasn't there yet. He had been trying to get through security, is what they said. So I went and talked to somebody that I hadn't seen since the beginning of the Krakoan age. Back in 2020, the same week, like while we were there, COVID happened. The first day of the show on Friday, they had all of the Marvel people that were working on X-Men. Al Ewing, I mean, not just that, but they had every premier person there, like Al Ewing, Jonathan Hickman, Benjamin Percy, oh man, I forget who was on X-Men or Excalibur, but everybody there. Rod Reese, who did New Mutants. It was a big rollout, but because of that, Ben Percy has never come back to C2E2 until this year, and I didn't know until almost the last minute that he was going to be there. So I scrambled and threw some books together because Ben Percy is not just a guy who understands the characters that he's writing, like Wolverine and Ghost Rider and Deadpool. More than that, uh, he's just a heck of a cool, nice guy, down to earth, and I don't know, for lack of a better word, I don't know how to describe him. He's just a good dude. And he was there and there was no one in his line, and I'm like thinking to myself, how the okay, granted it's early, but even when I came back later, I was like, where is Ben Percy's line of people? Do people not understand who they have sitting there? So I walked up to him, talked to him, said, "Hey man," did the whole spiel of like, "I haven't seen you in a while." Been a while. And I just told him, "Look, man, I've been singing your praises on my channel. I've been covering all your books." I told him I do all the voices, and I had him sign Predator versus, because I have a bunch of his books already signed, by the way, from back in those days. But I got the Predator versus Wolverine #1 signed. I told him straight up, I was like, the way you framed this story was awesome. Got Deadpool Wolverine #1 with him and Josh Cassara, who he said Josh Cassara is his favorite person to work with. I told him, you guys together are unfreaking believable or beatable. And he also said, like, when he was talking about this book, we wanted to make a book that just kept going and getting crazier and have a lot of 90s flair. And we talked about that. I was like, yeah, you did this and this and this. He's like, yeah. And he asked about my channel. He asked what my name was. And then we talked about Red Hulk #1, which again, we've been talking about on the channel. I told him that I do all the voices for the books, and I said, I'm trying to do a Sam Elliott impersonation, but not quite a Sam Elliott impersonation. He goes, that's who I based it on. He goes, I could have done it on Harrison Ford, but I didn't want to. And I'm like, exactly. Sam Elliott. And he's like, yeah, even without the mustache. And I like, okay, so I was going to ask him to be interviewed, but I was having such a good time talking to him that I forgot. Thankfully, that I have 2 more days. So I plan on going back to his table and giving him my card and saying, would you like to have a conversation? So hopefully that'll happen, unless I chicken out. Then, after that, I went to see Ryan Brown and Charles Soule. They're always together. They're almost always working on a book together. Every time I've seen them, I've had them sign the next book that they're doing. Last time it was 8 Billion Genies. This time it's The Lucky Devils. So I had them sign, both of them. He did a little sketch. Ryan Brown did a little sketch there for me, which he does for a lot of people. So Lucky Devils, #1, Ryan Brown, Charles Soule. Charles Soule, who is one of the best writers. He was the guy who created Muse for Daredevil, one of the co-creators of that. But I also had him sign a book that when I first came back into comics, it was X-Men Blue and X-Men Gold at the time. And I really wasn't over the moon about those books. And I really didn't like, after that, they had the Age of X-Men, which was, what the fuck was that? I don't even know. But there was one book out there, one shining book that made me go, oh God, this is why I love X-Men. This is the book I wanted. And it was Astonishing X-Men. I have a poster for this in storage. He did the Astonishing X-Men with, look at this team. Look at this team. You've got Archangel, Bishop, Phantom X, Rogue, Mystique, Psylocke, Old Man Logan, and Gambit. Are you telling me? What are you kidding me? So he did, like, put some X's in the X. And when he saw it, he goes, oh, cool. But then, the coup de grace, the brand new book that he's done. And I talked about this on the Daredevil Born Again. Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell, #1. This book is just begging to be signed. Look at all that negative space, all that white space around the red and the green. And he told me, because I told him, look, man, I don't want to throw shade on Born Again, but I read this and went, what happens in the first issue is better than anything they've done so far in that entire show. But that's just my opinion. Okay. So he said, though, to look out for the other 2 issues, because this book took a long time to get made. He said issues 2 and 3 are going to be amazing. So after that, I was going to wait till the next day or so to do Art Adams. So in the meantime, I turn around and there's Jason Aaron. And I just got Bug Wars #1. It's an image book that he's doing. It's been very well received by a lot of people in the comics verse of YouTube. And I picked it up at Graham Crackers yesterday, just because I was like, I had never been in the Chicago Graham Cracker comics. So I grabbed this and I grabbed the first issue of Hush #2, which, whatever. It was Hush #2. It's not going to be worth much. Everybody's going to buy it. But I picked this up too, and I just so happened to have it in my bag because I wanted something to read that I hadn't read yet. So I got him to sign this. But also, because he doesn't just do Marvel, he also does a little book called Absolute Superman right now. And if you know, that book is, well, I don't like Superman books. I don't really have anything against Superman. DC books just really aren't for me. But I've read Absolute Superman, and I was suddenly like, this is a Superman I kind of want to read about. But I didn't bring my Absolute Superman #1 with me. There was one left, and it was $15, and it included the signature. So I got it. So now I have Absolute Superman #1 signed by Jason Aaron. I told him, thank you for writing a book about Superman that I actually want to read. He kind of laughed, but he thanked me for reading Bug Wars. So, and everybody loved Dr. Hunter S. Thompson. Everybody loved that costume. I was the only one there dressed as Hunter S. Thompson, and I've dressed as Cap, and I got less people wanting photographs. I walk in there as Hunter S. Thompson. Everyone either stopped me or wanted me to have a picture taken with him. There were no other Hunter S. Thompson, no Dr. Gonzos, no nothing at the show, and that was amazing. But I still had a lot of time before my photo op. So I got back in Art Adams' line, and I picked out these books specifically because they'd been sitting there not getting signed, and they're not your average books that a lot of people know about. But I got them signed. I got this Gumby Winter Fun Special. Yep, Gumby. These books were given to me by my friend, and I finally got them signed. And yes, it's Gumby, but it's Art Adams. So Gumby Winter Special, #1. Gumby's Summer Special. And if you look, spoiler alert, they're actually good. Okay? I don't know how to explain it. I watched Gumby when I was a kid. It was all right. You know, it was weird. I was a kid. What do I know? But I got it signed, and those books are actually good. Then I also got The Creature from the Black Lagoon. He did his version of it. The art is amazing. And then I got Meet Monkey Man and O'Brien. Another kind of. These aren't books that like your average Joe knows about. And then one new book because I have issue #1 signed by him. So I thought and you guys, anybody who knows my channel more than not, knows that I put out a couple of videos for all of his Walking Dead Deluxe connecting covers. I've done 2. One was the original, of course, and then I updated it when I got the issue that you're going to see here. And so I have issue #1 signed, the one with Rick Grimes, and then I got the one with Negan. So yeah, I got the one with Negan signed. Where did he sign it? Oh, he signed it where you can't see. So we'll take this one out. Let's go back into the chat here. Oh, he's showing the gold. Okay. It's a standalone campaign. I might watch it. I miss so much, and it feels like it's such a hill to climb to watch them all. Okay. Don't chicken out. Yeah, popular guy. Oh my God, that's funny. Damn it. I can't see what that says. That's okay. So those are the comics that I got done. And then, where did I put it? Oh. Then it came time, finally, to get in line for the photo op. But it was still a little while to wait. And while I'm sitting there waiting, I'm taking pictures with people because people just keep walking up going, dude, You're Hunter S. Thompson. You look great. And look, folks, I don't brag. I'm very hard on myself, but I was just overjoyed at how many people responded to this costume. And I also ran into friend of mine and friend on the Discord, Lizzie. Yay! If you don't know or remember, a couple of years ago, I met her, and she's just another friend on the Discord, another friend of mine, and another friend I met and have kept meeting at C2E2. And she was dressed as Keyleth from the Vox Machina version, and she looked awesome. And we were both catching up, and we were getting ready for our Critical Role thing. She was doing the group photo. Me, I just wanted Matt Mercer. I mean, sure, I'd love to get the group photo, but financially, I had to make some decisions. And so I went with Matt Mercer because it's fucking Matt Mercer. And so here I am, knowing that at least Matt Mercer is also going to know who Hunter S. Thompson is, and that was amazeballs. And I got this picture. Matt Mercer put his arm around me. I put my arm around him. He gave his look. I gave mine. And he told me what other people have told me at this con. You can't stop here. It's backcountry. I didn't cry, everybody. I didn't have time. I didn't have time to cry. I'll have more time to cry on Sunday when I meet him dressed as Gambit. So immediately after, hey, Arena's joined the chat. That's funny. I have a bunch of Alf books that I inherited and that I definitely got to do something with. All right. And then look at that luxurious hair. I know. I had my hair all up in a ponytail just to wear the whole, thing for Hunter. So then after that, I booked it out of there. And then after I walked back to where my bag was, and then I proceeded to find the nearest cab. And he took me to where I am now. Again, it's getting dark quick here. I don't know. Can I show you guys? Let's see. I don't even know how these curtains work. Let's go. Let's try this. Huh? Let's show y'all. Let's show y'all my view. So yeah, here I am now talking to all of you. And the Harry Potter store is right down the street. So I didn't have to hardly walk at all to get where I'm going. So I went back down to the Harry Potter store, right? Not much of a line this time. I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to get in? But I walked around as like, which line do I get in? And this wonderful lady, this wonderful woman, seriously, I thanked her. I went and found her after and said, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Because after, the line was super long and they actually had to tell people they were closed because you couldn't get in without scanning a QR code. Well, look, I might be a city boy living in the country, but I also don't know shit about QR codes. And she's like, you just pull it up on your camera. And I'm like, yeah, and she was just like, you know what, man, just go on. So basically, because she didn't want to show me, and she was just kind of like, I was being nice and I was being folksy. I think that being in the country has rubbed off on me, where I'm a much more, we're quick to say please and thank yous when a lot of people around here are just kind of like matter of fact. Da, 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 da. Everybody's into their own thing because it's the city and nobody gives a fuck, which is one of the reasons why I like coming to a city, because nobody gives a fuck about you. You can do whatever. Well, you know what I mean. You're anonymous around a bunch of people. People are living their lives around you and they don't give a fuck. So I just walked in. She goes, honey, just go on in. I didn't have to wait in the line or nothing. So I'm just whoosh inside the Harry Potter store. And I started putting the post pictures up on the Discord. The first thing I took a picture of was the because this one's inspired by the Goblet of Fire book and movie. And I posted up. They had the flaming Goblet of Fire and the big flames above it. It was pretty fucking cool. Then I had to finally try a butterbeer, which they give you the cup. Look, but they let you. There's a cleaner, so like when you take it, it's push it down and it spins and it cleans it all out for you. I didn't clean this one out very good. I'm gonna have to wash it in the sink. Another thing I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with, because the more things I have, the more I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with them. So I had a butterbeer at their biggest butterbeer bar in the world, which the store is really not that big, but the butterbeer and the butterbeer muffin I had, let me tell y'all something. The snacks aren't to be fucked with. They are amazing. And so, of course, I got the every flavor beans and a chocolate frog, which apparently comes with a wizard inside. So I figured, why don't I open it right now with all of you and find out what wizard's in there? Let's see, will I be disappointed for the first time on my trip? I can't be. I can't be disappointed in this, right? Anyway, let's see here. Awesome, not a blank wall fit. Yeah, if you guys saw, like they had the egg that opens up, and they had the moving picture, and they had Gryffindor's sword, and a bunch of stuff, and some stuff that I actually would have worn. They had a coat, a pullover with all the houses on it, and it was really soft and warm, and it really wasn't that expensive, but I just was like, how many hoodies do I need? And I had to actually talk myself out of it though, because it was really that warm, it was really that soft and comfortable looking. All right, so how do you open one of these? Get this out here. Oh my gosh, this is a real giant chocolate frog. I got, oh, I don't even know who this is. That's cool. I got Beaumont. I love it. I love the name though. Beaumont. Beaumont Marjoribanks, a pioneer of herbology and collector of many rare and magical flowers. Beaumont Marjoribanks is said to have discovered gillyweed. Gotta collect them all. Gotta collect them all. They had white chocolate, dark chocolate, and milk chocolate. I grabbed the milk chocolate after accidentally grabbing a dark chocolate. Nothing wrong with dark chocolate, just not my thing. So, after leaving the Harry Potter store and putting all the pictures up and thanking that woman on the street, saying, thank you so, so much, that I came back to the hotel then, and here we are. I'm tired. I'm ready to eat my chocolate frog. Because what am I going to do with it? I can't take it around with me. I'm going to have to eat this whole thing. And I'm going to have to, I mean, these I can probably shove in some pocket, but the chocolate frog's going to be a lot harder to do. But maybe we'll figure it out. I don't know. And so that's my story. I'm here in the hotel now talking to all of you about day one. Maybe I'll talk about day two, but I'm only going to be there to get the autographs for the cast of Critical Role. So I guess I could tell you about that experience. I believe tomorrow I am meeting Ashley Johnson, Travis Willingham, Marisha Ray, and Taliesin Jaffe. On Friday, it'll be Liam O'Brien, or Sunday, Liam O'Brien, Sam Riegel, Laura Bailey, and fucking Matt Mercer. So, hopefully, I'll be able to talk at least about the first day. I probably will go home before I talk about any of the other stuff because I have to. I got to go back to work on Monday. So, thank you all who watch this in the future. A special thanks, of course, to you guys here in the chat, Desiree, Rena, and Devra, who, I mean, I love you guys. And Lizzie, who is there at the show with me, and we're going to meet up tomorrow and the next day to make sure we both get all our autographs because we've got 8 people to talk to. And we're going to be jumping from line to line together, so we might as well do it together. I hope. So, thank you all so much for, I can't believe I talked for almost an hour. Can never have too many hoodies, I know, but I have a lot. I really have a lot, and I have to make decisions every day. Which one do I wear? I have a lot of hoodies. Just like a lot of t-shirts. Great. Like, I need more t-shirts. Although, if you guys want to look at it, it's wild. It might not be for everybody, but it was from the Chicago live show specifically. Chicago. Anyway, thanks for watching. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Fuck you, Mr. Milchick!
Ba 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 bum. Ba bum 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 bum.